Hello everyone. Another set of questions that I keep getting from the aspirants, from the candidates is that, Madam, I'm a college going student and how should I start? How should I go about it? So by this module, I would try to address most of the doubts. The first major thing that should strike to your mind should be how much to participate in college activities. I personally would seriously advocate that you should always remember these days will never come again. So you should enjoy as much as you can in your daily college activities and have the most fun out of it. And I would also suggest, in fact, strongly advocate that you should try to excel in curriculars and extracurriculars so that you may not miss out a thing there. In fact, this particular habit of yours can also fetch you advantage in your interview phase, because now you have something to talk about, that you have been, for example, the president of literature club, the president of cultural society in your college. I think that would be a wonderful thing. Picking up a hobby, skill, sport, I think that again is wonderful, because college offers you ample amount of opportunities, ample facilities, infrastructure to pick up any hobby, skill, sport, be it music, be it painting, be it sports, be it gymnastics, whatsoever your college provides. I think you should definitely pick any of that. For civil services, if you've made up your mind, I would suggest, this is my very personal suggestion, that you should just finish your daily newspaper or news batching, because I really don't know, after a hectic day, for example, if your college begins at 9 and ends at 3, 4 or 5 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., I really don't know how would you manage dedicating 6 to 7 hours of preparation. So if you are able to just watch news, read a newspaper of your choice, I think that would suffice. One really interesting thing that I came across when I had a session with the IIT Indore candidates, students, was that they had a very dedicated civil services club in which they used to conduct essays, speech and extempore debates also. And they even went and taught the not so privileged kids in the government schools. They taught them mathematics and physics. So I think it's a wonderful thing in which you can definitely give back to the society and also understand the kind of contradictions in which we live. For example, you have your amazing college, and right behind your college you have a school in which the kids are still wishing for a nice uniform or for good books and good notebooks. So it's an eye opener for you also, and that can be a great thing. You can ask the administration of your college to have a dedicated civil services club, and thus you can go forward with it. Essays, speech and extempore, you can conduct such kind of events, and so that you will be, in a mode. You will even get to know more about the issues that are the current affairs issues that are going around in our country. Now, going forward with personal suggestions, I would say, if you're a first year or second year student of your graduation, be it a 4-year course, 5-year course, 3-year course, I think you should just familiarize yourself with the world of civil services. So you should not be much bothered about mugging up things. You should just, get well versed with the civil services. Yes, you can subscribe a newspaper. You can get online subscription or offline subscription, whatsoever is available in your locality. You can even start watching news. I would suggest DD News and Rajya Sabha TV programs. Friends, you should definitely check out the Rajya Sabha TV programs. They are wonderful, they are balanced, they are full of all the policies and programs of the government, much required for you to be a civil servant. So you can begin your preparation like that. And you can even download the AIR app, listen to it. And you can even have a dedicated civil services club, which I have talked earlier. If you want, if you have time, if time permits, I think you can even pick up NCERTs. That is my personal suggestion. It's up to you. No mugging up. The important thing that I would emphasize is that you should not be mugging up. You should not be rote learning any of the things. And definitely no compromise with the curriculars or extracurriculars. In no way, you will not make an excuse that you are preparing for the civil services examination, so you are unable to give your best in your curriculars, extracurriculars. No. In whichever year you are, whatsoever you are doing, you would always try to give best in your curriculars and extracurriculars activities. And in your third or fourth final year, I would say that you can pick up the NCERTs. I would suggest NCERTs from class 10th to 12th, 10th, 11th, 12th. I think NCERTs from class 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th are very simplistic. And most of the topics will be covered in the NCERTs of class 10th, 11th, 12th. They should suffice. Reference books, Spectrum for history, you can pick up, and you can even pick up Lakshmikant for polity. You can even pick up for some book for economy, some NCERT for economy. So that would suffice. Then current affairs from June. I can say that in your June to December, in your 7th semester, I would say, for example, for engineering, you can pick up current affairs. Okay, you can follow any of the blog, you can buy the booklets from any reputed coaching institute, and you can just go through it, no mugging up. And I would personally suggest that you should also have a final word on your optional, because my dear friends, that you should not further waste time in having second thoughts about the optional. You should try to finalize it, crystallize it, and then you should after your graduation, you should do serious preparation, do serious justice to that optional. If you want to practice, if you want to monitor your own progress, you can do these two exercises. You can pick up the last year questions for static topics. For example, if there's a question on, for example, history, and if you have completed that chapter about Indus Valley Civilization or about Mughal administration, so you can just pick that up and try solving them on your own. And also you can do, this is a very nice and light-hearted exercise. If you're picking up NCERT textbooks, and you can see after the end of a chapter, you will encounter questions. So you can just simply, start practicing on your own, and it will just keep you in the loop of this examination phase, and that can help you. This is a tentative timetable that I have made for the aspirants, because I receive a lot of advice. I receive a lot of doubts from the aspirants that, ma'am, how should I get about it? So I would say in your final year, for example, it's your graduation from this year. In your final year, for example, your final year has 7th and 8th semester. Because I hail from engineering, so that is the best analogy I can give it to you. 2 hours per day would suffice first, because in fact, I still wonder how would you manage to give more than 2 hours per day after the hectic college schedule. And then if you have time, you can also try to utilize weekends. In your 7th semester, you can pick up NCERTs and core subjects and just try to read them for once from starting to end, from cover to cover. And I have already suggested that you should also decide your optional, and then it should be crystallized for you, and then you should dedicate yourself in that optional. And in your 8th semester, that I would say the final semester, you should do the second reading of your core subjects and first reading of the optional. And with this, you will just get to know the scope of your examination with the syllabus, with the question papers, with the necessary books, NCERTs, and it will take some time. Definitely, in fact, I would say that if you are doing that, you are already doing a great job. So if you are able to do that, it should be more than enough. And then yes, you have your college days also, you have your curriculars and extracurricular activities. So this can be the tentative timetable for final year, but it is totally up to you. It is totally up to your circumstances, and totally up to how much time you can garner for a serious preparation or orientation, I would say, because preparation would begin after that. So serious orientation towards civil services examination per se. So that is how you can go about it. Another major doubt that I have been thrown at is weekend classes, yes or no. So the pros of classes is discipline, study group, and syllabus completion on time. And the disadvantages are availability, affordability, and would eat away the much awaited weekends. I think this holds true for me. So friends, if you are that kind of person who needs an external push, who is unable to keep the discipline on her own, so I think you can go for the weekend classes. It's totally up to you, because it will help you to be disciplined, and it will also provide you a very dedicated study group. I think it works wonders. I remember my own study group, Mr. Puneet Gehlot, Ashutosh Srivastav, Ashutosh Garg, Akshay Singh Markam. So we were this little study group. We used to talk about it. We used to discuss about it. So you can also go with that. And another major advantage is that you'll be able to syllabus your core, your core syllabus, I would say, on time. The first reading on time. So these are the advantages. And of course, the disadvantages of weekend classes is the availability and affordability. If you hail from little towns, I really wonder if you have nearby good quality coaching classes. It depends on the availability. It also depends on the affordability, because already during your college days, things might get expensive. If you are a hostler, if you're living in a hostel, if you're paying for the room, for your food, it is already an expensive affair. So it's up to you if you can afford that. And of course, the much awaited weekends, the Saturday evenings, the Sunday mornings, the lazy Sunday mornings. So you will lose them. So it is totally up to you and the kind of person you are. It is totally up to you. And with that, I hope I am able to clear your doubts. If you are a college going student, then how you should go about it. Thank you so much.